What's good, everybody? I'm IAnthonyD. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see your beautiful faces. In today's video, we're talking TCM again. There was recently a dev stream featuring Wes and Sid from Gun Interactive, where they kind of just do a little bit of a check-in, answering some of these questions that we've had for a long time, and kind of just like letting us know where we stand going into year two. Now, a lot has been put on for TCM for year two. This whole conversation around that the Anna and Maria storyline is finished. You know, we have Rush Week where we're going into a different era for TCM with year two. And with that, we have to talk about some of the things that was kind of being left behind in year one. Some conversations that were being had. Things like future licensed content, level caps, unlockables, those types of things. And in this stream, they sit us down and let us know what's going on.
Everybody wants content from the second film. We want it. I've been in I can't remember how many meetings now, but it's been a discussion for 2 years. So even before the game came out, we were trying to secure those rights, and that also includes Chop Top. We could not get those people to the table, which was disheartening to me because, as most of you know, when it comes to horror, I kind of want no stone left unturned. I adore this movie. The whole franchise, I think, has its merits, and there's fun things we could be doing with them. So it sucks, but we could not get that together. But I do know that we're focused on as much as we can do with this entire franchise, and we're going to keep pushing Rush Week into interesting places. So yeah, I wish it was as easy as that we could, sort of just walk in and get it, but it's not the case. Mm-hmm. That film has gone through a lot of hands. There's been a lot of folks who have owned it. And the last thing I wanted to do was, if that could not be fully secured, that puts a risk on the game, and I'm not doing that. I don't think you guys want that either.
Yeah.
It's not fair to anyone to have something really bad happen. So it's not going to happen. It's not the news you wanted to hear. It's not the news I wanted to hear either. But I've been working with the best legal teams that I know, and that includes the rights holders that we work with for the 1974 film. And again, it was something we worked hard on for 2 years, and it's just not going to happen.
First things first, one of the hardest hitting things to come from this stream is that Chop Top and TCM2 licensed content is not coming. So obviously you can see here, I don't think anyone disagrees that Gun is a huge horror fan. Clearly they really wanted Chop Top to come to this game and TCM2 content in general to come to this game. And honestly, it just seems like it's the unfortunate and sad reality that is working with licensed content when there's a bunch of different people at the table and everybody wants to put their hands on things, and you don't make everyone happy. It just doesn't happen. A deal just couldn't be made. At least a secure deal just couldn't be made. Now, they do only focus here on TCM2. Obviously, Chop Top is like one of those characters in the entire franchise who stands out like next to Leatherface. He's just such a personality. So him not being able to make it into the game is a hard hit. Dude, it gives me straight up flashbacks to another really cool character in a franchise who was kind of teased a little bit but never really made it in, and that's Uber Jason in Friday the 13th. It's like that, I can't relive that again. Dude, it hurts my heart. With that said, what does this mean for the other films? They do kind of hint on some other stuff that we'll talk about in some other videos. I'm really gonna dissect this stream and break it down as much as I can. To be honest, this stream was not an easy watch, especially for someone who's been invested in this game for a long time and this community. Hearing these things suck. They do continue on talking about other things that we were waiting for, and that's things like the level cap increase in Unlockables. These are things that they explained are not coming.
In-game currency.
Okay.
And Unlockables.
More not great news.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we spent about a year looking at how can we raise level cap, how can we add an in-game economy, the time it was going to take to pull that off. There was so much rework that had to be done on the back end that what I didn't want to do was stop making things to put in the game, new systems or new maps and new characters and all the things we knew we wanted to add to the game. I didn't like how long it was going to take to do that. I understand it's a big request and people really want it, and I wanted to try to find a way to get it in there. It was not viable for us to do it, and I think if we had to go that long without being able to get some of that stuff in there, I think a lot more people would be disappointed in having to wait that long to get anything else that's new, because it was a complete upheaval of the foundation of the game, because so much of that touches so many different systems, from leveling up to using the perks in the tree, to getting attribute points, and it's like all this stuff starts to tie in, and it sounds simple to just raise the number, but it has to trigger to unlocks and grab all these other pieces. So it was a far larger thing to tackle than we had originally anticipated when we first started to look at it. And then the deeper we got into it, we realized that whole thing would really have to be rebuilt to make it work.
Now, from what I remember, obviously I'll have to watch the stream back, but they didn't say it as it's like a complete hard no that it will never be coming. I think they were just saying in year one, these things won't be coming, because to take the resources needed to create these things, they would have to pull away from creating new characters, creating rush week, creating new maps. So they had to sacrifice these other things that they felt were more important to do unlockables and an in-game currency. So I don't know if that's like I don't know if the way they were saying that, you guys are smarter than me, so you'll have to let me out. I don't know if the way they were saying that is we're never getting that, because if we aren't getting in-game currencies, an unlockable system, a store, that entire like half of the game that is kind of lacking there is that the unlockable side. It's gonna be very disappointing if that's just not gonna happen completely. Hopefully in year two, that's something that maybe they're in a better place now that they could prioritize, but I don't know, just all in one stream, hearing that we're not getting Chop Top, we're not getting TCM2 content, we're not getting in-game currencies, there's no more unlockables, and there's no store coming, really hurt. Now, to be fair, they do talk about how they do have a lot planned and there is a future for TCM. So it's not like this is the end of the world or anything. It's just something that kind of sucks moving forward, and we'll have to see where things go from here. But as always, I want to know what you think. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slash that like button, subscribe with notifications set to all. Remember the rules to survive. Don't do drugs, don't have sex. Oh yeah, don't
Everybody dies. These days, there are certain rules. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. You gotta have a sequel. You can never have sex. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days, you never drink or do drugs. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. You gotta have a sequel.